Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Tuesday, May 5th. Hope everybody's having a fantastic start to your morning. Let's see how this NQ, that was a big, nice little pump there on the NQ. All right, some things to look out for here this morning. We got some key levels here on the NQ at the 27,965, the 27,890. Where else we got? We've got a few key levels right here at the 27,759, the 743, and the 613. We do have a piece of buyer unbalanced volume sitting here at the 27,606 to the 562. Could definitely see a sweep here and go. And previous level here that did not get tapped into yesterday at the 27,536. Let's take a look at the ES. So the ES above us has got two key levels at the 72.76 and the 72.79. So we'll look out for that. And then below us, we've got a big piece of unbalanced volume by buyers at the 72.39 to the 72.17, with two key levels on the ES at the 72.28 and the 72.25. Again, a lot of buyer unbalanced volume in this area right here. Let's take a look at gold. Gold got a nice little setup here, 45.75.4. Bottom of this band is at the 45.71.9. First target is at the 45.79. So we'll take a look at that one. Above us, I think we got a ways to go on gold before we get to our first band at the 46.79 to the 46.90. And then below us, we've got another band at the 45.47 to the 45.43. Again, a lot of buyer unbalanced volume sitting right there. And I will get this order here ready as, well, you know what, I'll kind of watch that one here just to see how this one plays out. Let's go into, so we did have an AVT setup that formed here this morning, starting at 6:30. Nice little move to the upside, break of structure. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. We got a retracement bar, fixed volume profile tool. I did have an order to go long here at the value area low, which was sitting at the 27,937 with a stop at the 27,900. And I was targeting the point of control right back up here at the 27,987. That was a nice positive risk to reward. But as we broke structure to the upside, I then canceled out this order, and we'll just kind of continue to wait to see how price action unfolds here this morning. Tiger Trades, good morning. CMA, I'm excited. Nice to have you, bud. Thanks for joining the stream. Gene, Rob, Greg, Keith, Joe, Steve, Joel, Max, John, good morning all. Let's see if we can have a day here this morning. Now, one thing to note too on this leg here, you know, I like to see how price action kind of develops on these next consecutive bars, because our first bar, our base bar here, as you can see, the second bar retraced pretty deep into like the bottom 3/4 of this bar right here. Okay, I like to see, you know, price action like this. This is a more healthier move than this. Now, if this next bar, which is showing some pretty good strength, and the next bar, if it shows a little bit of strength, you know, where it's not retracing too deep into these bars, then I'll take a look at this setup. So right now on this, if we were to have this closed red bar here, this would not be a setup that I would be looking at, because it's so damn condensed, it's so shrunken compared to, you know, a nice little move like this. Okay, and I'm okay with one of these 120 range boxes being, you know, coming down a little bit more. I know how price action has to work, but I'd want to see the remaining part of the move, the finished part of the move, the middle part of the move. I want to see some nice momentum in my trade, so, or in these little mini trends to the upside. Not this. This is indecisiveness right now. This I like. This one so far I like. So we'll kind of see how price action here wants to develop. Now, one other thing to note on this particular leg that we have an issue with. So I'm trying to give you guys every single scenario that might play out. This is not a valid setup yet, as this candle has not closed. But what do we see here that could be problematic for us? Okay, so let's just say that we were to close at the point of control. We'd have a nice entry here at the 28.001. We'd have a stop loss at the bottom of the break of structure. What's sitting a few points below that? Yes, we've got a key level at the 965. So again, this setup to me doesn't look very good, because what happens with these key levels, they act as a magnet, and price action loves to come back and retest these levels, which would of course knock us out. Now, if we get a more extended move to the upside, and you know, the risk to reward on the legs start to make sense, you know, I'll take a look at it. But as of right now, that setup to me doesn't look very pleasing at all. J Loves, good morning. I did fire off this order here in gold again at the 45.75.4, targeting the 45.79.1 with a stop at the 45.71.9. The P&L on this gold trade is going to look very, very small. I only have 4 accounts that I can currently trade gold in. So the P&L on these look a little bit on the smaller size. Actually, they're going to look very, very small. Morning, Key. Wow, 28,000's already. Holy cow. I wasn't taking a look at the ES here, but the ES here this morning created a setup here. I don't know if you would have got tagged in there or not. That would have been really close. You probably would have missed that entry there by a tick. Entry would have been right here at the value area low. But again, I don't think you would have got filled there. I would have missed there by about a tick. So one of my Signal members, Keith, said that he did take the ES value area high. Value area high or low? Got in and took the value area high on the MES. Did you mean the value area low? Oh, now you got triggered in there. It's a pretty valid setup too. I don't really necessarily know why I didn't. I missed that one. Oh, value area low to value area high. Nah, nice play. Very nice play. Very nice play right there. Yeah, that was a really nice setup here on the 12 range AVT setup right there. Nice little break of structure up here. You could have taken your entry right here at the value area low. You could have targeted either point of control, value area high, break of structure. All three of them would have won. Nice risk to reward as well. Spilled coffee all over myself. All right, so this particular leg on the NQ's got several not great characteristics. As far as the price action, I like it. Now we've had some good momentum to the upside. The only issue is here we're a little bit overextended, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possible 7. Remember, we want to stay within that A plus 3, 5. I will take a look, obviously, at 6. But again, the setup starts to diminish there to like closer to like a B setup instead of an A setup. Another issue here is that where our break of structure is at is also lining up with one of our key levels at the 965. So we'll take a look and see here when this leg completes itself. If it does, which it did, let's see what the profile is telling us. All right, so you've got a possible first entry at the point of control. You've got a second possible entry at the value area low. Risk to reward is not fantastic. Even if you were to average these two positions out, you'd still probably be at a negative risk to reward here. So I'm going to skip this first leg here on the NQ and just kind of see how if we break structure again to the upside here, then I'll take a look and see if we can maybe catch on to the next leg to the upside, or if it wants to come back down, we'll take a look at that. There's just a lot of different aspects of this AVT setup right here that doesn't really entice me, not as much as what that ES was a lot nicer. Well, J-Love, he's not trading today because he took a trade last night and made $190. So he is done with his consistency for the day because he took that one at night yesterday. So he's rocking. I think he needs 200 tomorrow, and he needs, I think, 150 on Thursday, and he can request another payout on Legends. So we kind of missed there the first ES. Nice setup of the morning. Kind of stunk because that would have been a nice one there. That would have been a nice little trade. Could have probably made at least 6 points there. But we'll see what the market wants to give us here. He's strictly unbalanced volume, so like what you see on where's this at here? Sorry, on gold, he just finds areas the same, like maybe break of structure. He's just straight limit order, so there's no order confirmation with him, as he's obviously trading most of the time from school. So he is strictly resting limit orders on unbalanced volume. And he was taught by one of the better ones, so that's a nice little N. I'm most likely I'll bring him on the stream during the summertime. You could be trading from from his room upstairs, and then we can you kind of see how he maps out his charts. Now, the one thing I did tell him is that, you know, once the summer comes and he's got more free time to be looking at charts a lot more, you know, he's the nice thing about him is that he's looking at the charts, he's kind of setting and forgetting it. So, you know, which I told him, you know, and typically his losing trades have come from headline news or some type of, you know, economic event that comes out that he just doesn't have the opportunity to really close out or to be really monitoring it throughout the as a limit order. But it has come to a benefit to him because he kind of takes away the noise and just sticks to what he sees on the chart and trades it, which there's something to be said about that as well. You could sometimes overanalyze yourself out of a lot of trades, a lot of winning trades. So most likely be a pretty small trade here if something develops. Pretty strong negative delta right here as well. All right, so we got no entry here. Zero entry. We've got point of control, value area high, and the low and value area high all sitting within our first retracement bar. So we've got no entry here whatsoever. So nothing to do there on the ES. So the beauty of the strategy is that everything is very it's laid out for you. So I mean, there's no entry, which is very rare, but you do get them. So we really don't have much of a defense here for market to you could just want to be seeking liquidity right now here. Nothing on the NQ here as well. So just kind of want to go over this, you know, for anybody that's new on the stream, or, you know, they're saying, hey, Rob, why aren't you looking at this NQ setup here? So we do have our rules kind of met here. So we do have an uptrend. We've got a break of structure. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars to the upside. So it's a little bit overextended, okay, because again, our sweet spot is the 3 to 5 leg moves. I will still consider a 6-legger, like how this one is, but you know, we have to kind of then put it into context. We finally do get our retracement bar here, which is what activates my fixed volume profile tool. I know that I have an entry at point of control. I know I have an entry at the value area low. Okay, I could take both of these positions and I would be averaging out my position to be somewhere right around there with a target of the value area high, or you could put another target here at the break of structure. I think we all get that. Stop loss sitting right here at the 27,971. Key issue with this one, besides the overextension, which is one knock against it. I should do an actual X. One knock against it is that the stop is sitting right above one of our key levels for the day. So that's another knock against it. Third one is we did break structure again to the upside here. That again is another X on the strategy. What I'd like to see is just a nice little retracement bar into our entry, and then we can look to take the move to the upside. And it looks like oh, we're on the same one here. And again, on this ES, I'll delete this just so we can take a look at it again together. You've got your 1, 2, 3 bar move to the upside. Great. Fits our strategy. 3 to 5. We get our retracement bar. Awesome. Fixed volume profile tool to encompass just this move here, which we do. We then set our fixed volume profile tool, and we can see right off the bat that price action closed here, and all of our entries we're sitting right up here. Okay, so we have no entry down here. Okay, there's nothing here to enter in onto, so this is an invalid AVT setup as well. Okay, about 30 minutes for our initial balance to be set. Okay, we're just looking here now for see what the next little move here would be on the NQ or the ES. Good morning, AP. Morning, Bartlett Racing. So U.S. JOLTS job openings came in better than expected. PMI came in a little bit under expectation. Nothing too crazy. We do have Fed speaker speaking actually right now. Trump signs proclamation at 9:30. Fed's bar speaks at 11:30. Marco Rubio speaks at 2 p.m. Central Time. Yes, looks like it's heading here for this next key level here at the 72.79. Not the greatest push here on this bar right here. Let's retrace to about 3/4 of this previous bar right here. Let's see if we can catch a little bit more momentum, which I do like this box right here. Let's see how it reacts here at the 72.79. Okay, tapped into that key level here at the 72.79. And Q's definitely not moving. All right, let's see what this setup here looks like on the ES. All right. So we could pop this order in right here, which is going to give us about a 5.5 point stop. And looks like a little bit negative risk to reward there to value area high. We might be able to balance this one out right here. Not sure what happened to my entry there. Pop this guy down here. About 18 minutes for initial balance to be set. Again, overall risk on this trade is going to end up being right around, I was saying it's negative risk reward, it's positive. Oh no, this one, I'm sorry. It's going to probably average out to about, I would say probably 4.5 points of risk. So closer to 1-to-1. Oh, that was a strong move there. That was a very, very strong move. All right, as we got a good reaction right there, no reason to risk more than that. So I got 3.5 points of combined risk here now. I don't like that. That's very strong price action right there that came down through that level. Let's see if we can get a nice little push. Let's go. Okay, I got stopped out there. That sucked. Gold. No, gold did not tap in yet. All right, so kind of a nasty loser there. I got some pretty strong price action there to the downside, unfortunately, for us. I was able to ultimately reduce my risk here. Looks like 4 points, but I think I saw 3. Maybe this is combined. Yeah, combined was 4 points. 4 points of risk there. And Q looks pretty sloppy. Let's see if there's no entry there. I don't see any type of news there. UAE air defense systems responding to missile drone threats. 9:15. That was about a minute ago. Yeah. UAE air defense systems responding to missile threat. 9:14, 9:15, which I think we got entered onto this right at 9:14. 9:15. No, our entry was up here. Yeah, right around that 9:14 mark, and this is probably delayed about a minute. So that was a little unfortunate, but and the NQ looks super sloppy. Nothing we can do here. All right, first loser of the morning. And that was max position size for me too on that ES trade, because I was in 2 positions. So I was in 4 contracts on that one across all my fundeds. But you guys could see what my reasoning was there here. My risk to reward just on point of control right back up to value area high was sitting at about 4.25 points, 4.5 points. So with the stop down here, we're looking at 6. Second entry at the value area low, which I really like. Brought my risk to 4.25 points. So essentially a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Don't ever really want to be in a negative risk to reward scenario. I'm not saying you can avoid it 100%, but and I'm gonna have to cancel out gold. Gold missed entry there. Update this here. Pretty sideways right now. Let's get the initial balance indicator up on here. Looks like a pretty small range here. 140 points. Gene said his GC tapped in. I don't know how. Maybe on the micro? No, I don't think so. I had a resting limit order in my Top Step X. I didn't get filled. So, I don't know. It looked like our timing on that ES trade was a little unfortunate. Which will happen. Can't really control that that aspect of trading, unfortunately. Wish we could. Take a look here at the NQ. Nice little healthy move here. It was unfortunate with gold. It was pretty damn close. Pretty damn close there. But pretty damn close doesn't pay the bills. All right, give me 1 second. I'm going to ask you guys for your help here on something on a chart that I want to see if you guys can understand a little better than I do. All right, for those of you guys that still use TopStep, I know a lot of them you guys do not, but previously, if I ever wanted to go in and switch, you know, my contract here to from like, let's just say the MNQ to gold, it would also switch my chart to the same as my contract. It's not doing that anymore. So I actually have to, every time, you know, I could take an order here on the MGC, but it's not on this contract, not on this chart. They always used to sync up with each other. And I thought it was something to do with the sync balls up here, but that doesn't seem to add chart link. Use this new chart linking system. You can now use the indicator to control your linked color. I don't know what the fuck that is. It used to just change automatically all the time. Oh, link. It's not. What's this? What is this? Link color. So white. Oh, now it did it. So now if I go to, let's micro, okay. Figured out myself. Thanks, guys. Figured that one out myself. Okay. That was kind of driving me nuts this morning. Nothing to do on the ES here. Obviously super extended, overextended move. Nothing there that I'm interested in right now. Just kind of keep an eye here on this nice little leg here on the NQ. Oh, and we just oh, did we get? We did not. Okay, so we got the IB high sitting right here. Thought it was late to that party, but I was not. IB level. Alright, and the IB low sitting right here. Disc back to 2 minutes, which is what I like. All right. So our IB high is sitting at the 28,134. IB low is at the 27,971. Now we did form that IB, the candlestick right before the minute before the IB was set. So again, not really a lot of established liquidity sitting up here. You're probably going to have a lot more established liquidity at the IB low. But as you guys know, it's one of my favorite trades. We will obviously take a look at it. I'm still taking a look to see how this retracement on the NQ works out. Again, not a ton of liquidity sitting up here. Right at the 929 candle, that's when we formed the IB. It's pretty damn close to a tap there, but I did not have that as a... No flip there yet. I'm looking at the 60 range. All right, so I'm going to take a short there based on the 60 range flip. And let's put that to 15 points. Let's go to the 60. Right there. We did not finish the liquidity sitting right there, but based on my rules, this is where my stop's got to be at. I do have a good amount of liquidity sitting at the 40s, right where my stop is sitting at, so that's not the greatest for me. But let's see if we can get a quick 15 points out of this. All right, 15 pointer right there, hit, flat. Nice IB trade. Again, pretty simple stuff here. I was originally looking at the 30, so that's why I've got both of my screens up when I'm taking entry. 30 did not give you a flip, -4 delta, red footprint. But I was watching the 60, and as soon as the 60 gave us the flip, which was right here, 240 positive delta, took that short there for 15 3/4 points, I guess. And we'll take a look at the AVT here. All right, not the greatest risk to reward here, honestly. This one is not the greatest. So we're gonna have to reduce risk here a little bit. I guess we can split this difference here. Right around here, it still gives us a negative risk to reward play. Might have to bump this up to the break of structure here. So again, here we're in a negative risk to reward scenario. So I'm going to have to reduce my risk here to halfway of this unbalanced volume that's sitting right here. It's sitting right here, so kind of split that difference right there. And again, if you want, you know, you can take off position here at the point of control at the 28,127. That could be a target. We do have some liquidity sitting here at the 150s. The 140s are gone, so that liquidity is kind of gone. Thanks, Bob, for letting me know. Not sure how I had that on mute, but I did. So again, rules of the strategy would deem your stop loss to be at the break of structure down here, where we're definitely wrong on this trade, as we are in a negative risk to reward, which is rare on these setups, but on this one we are. What I've done is I've pretty much cut my risk in half here. So I kind of split the difference right here of my my defense here. So we'll see. Like I said, there's some liquidity sitting here at the 150s that they might want to target, as they really didn't even clean out the 140s all that much. And again, if this flips here as a green footprint candle and we're still sitting at this negative delta down here, which would be a great scenario, I then can take my stop and pop it to the bottom of this candle right here, which would give us essentially a few points of risk on this trade. But we still got to close. We got to close as a green bar, and we still got to see that negative delta there. See if we can close up here. Let's go a little bit more. And you can close out this footprint, not the trade. Not just yet. Delta's dropping pretty quickly, so not necessarily sure we'll see a flip here. I'm starting to get pretty heavy here. I may close this out early here if we get another drop. If we break this low here, I might get out of this trade. It just seems very heavy here. I don't want to see this go against me anymore. Right here. I'll take 11 points. Just didn't like that we couldn't overtake that right there, and I don't really have much more defense below me. So kind of giving up the profits here of the IB to a certain extent, but come on, buyers. That's pretty good absorption. Again, they've got a target at the 150s, which is sitting right up here, which would be pretty great. But they got a lot of work to do to get there. Liquidity's pretty tight here. There's not much liquidity right now in this leg either. The 75s have some liquidity that they can come, which would obviously take my that would take my stop out. But really just not wanting to give this trade that much more room. I don't really have any defense below me. So if we can get a bounce here, that would be, nope. That's super heavy there. That was an absorption right there of the 75s. So if it's possible, you could get a bounce right here. If it's going to bounce, it would bounce right there, as they did take out the 75s right there as I was talking to you guys. This is going to kind of hurt because, like I said, the big liquidity right now is sitting right here. There still is some liquidity sitting at the 70s, so that they could come right back and retest that. I'm sorry, the 75s. So the 75s, they still have some liquidity sitting. They've reloaded there. Kind of a tricky spot here. Not the best. If we do go to TP here, that's going to hurt a little bit. Yes, it's just kind of stuck in between these two levels here. What's it to do with gold? There's another headline out. Price action there seems to be a little nutty on Bookmap. You got it, Tiger. Take care, bud. All right, guys, I think I am going to also call it a morning here. I'm going to stay on the charts here for a little bit longer here with my signal group and see what else comes up here from today. But nice little IB trade there. We'll see how this one ends up playing out. Maybe got out of that one a little bit earlier. Didn't like the risk to reward on that trade and felt like it was getting pretty damn heavy, which I still do think it's getting pretty heavy. But either way, I mean, we'd be right now in we'd be in the green right now in this trade slightly. So overall down 875 for the day, so not the best. We'll see if I can we can work on that. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you.